Griselda Blanco Restrepo was a Colombian citizen who was born on February 15, 1943. The city of her birth is unclear, with some sources claiming it was Cartagena, while others claim it was Santa Marta. Her mother, who was reportedly an alcoholic sex worker, moved with Blanco to Medellin when Blanco was approximately 3 years old, once upon a trip called the most dangerous city on heart. It is alleged that, at the age of 11, Griselda Blanco engaged in criminal activity by assisting in the kidnapping of a child, who was subsequently killed after the payment of a ransom was not forthcoming. In addition, it is claimed that Blanco worked as a pickpocket and ran away from home at the age of 19. These allegations have been denied by Blanco, although it is widely accepted that she engaged in various criminal activities during her life. Blanco's first marriage was young and impulsive. She tied the knot with a petty criminal named Carlos Trujillo in her teens, and they had 3 children. The marriage went south after a while, and they ended up divorced, though they stayed business partners even after the split. There are accusations that Blanco had something to do with his death several years later, though nothing was ever proven. Griselda Blanco's life took a significant turn in 1964. Blanco illegally emigrated to the United States under an assumed name and with fake papers. She settled in Queens, New York, with her 3 children and her second lover. She entered into a relationship with which later led to marriage to Alberto Bravo, a high-ranking member of the Medellin cartel, a criminal organization founded and led by Pablo Escobar. Blanco began her career trafficking marijuana, but soon transitioned to the more lucrative cocaine trade, using female couriers to smuggle the drug into the United States. These couriers would conceal the cocaine in specially designed bras and girdles. Griselda Blanco's ingenuity significantly boosted the couple's drug trafficking operation. She demonstrably employed her creativity by having lingerie specifically designed with hidden compartments, a tactic that facilitated the covert transportation of drugs. Through such innovative methods, Blanco and her husband, Alberto Bravo, were able to establish a vast and highly lucrative network. However, their criminal activities were not sustainable. In 1975, faced with drug-related charges, Blanco was forced to flee back to Colombia. Blanco became convinced that Bravo was embezzling funds, leading to a violent confrontation. This altercation tragically resulted in Bravo's demise, a development that solidified Blanco's reputation as the ruthless Black Widow. It was reported that Blanco was responsible for the death of her 3rd husband as well. By the latter part of the 1970s, Griselda Blanco had relocated to Miami, Florida. There, she would establish a notorious reputation that earned her the chilling title of the Godmother of Cocaine. However, her path to power was not paved with peace. In a ruthless attempt to eliminate rivals and solidify her control over the cocaine trade, Blanco orchestrated a wave of violence that would engulf the city. This period of bloodshed became known as the Miami Cocaine Cowboy Wars. Blanco's tactics were as brutal as they were efficient. Allegations pointed towards her ordering a multitude of murders, with a signature style of utilizing motorcycle gunmen for swift and targeted attacks. This method, often attributed to her invention, became a chilling hallmark of the drug war. Through these violent means, Blanco sought to establish an undisputed dominance within the Miami drug underworld. Griselda Blanco's reign of terror was not confined to the shadows. A significant number of killings occurred during broad daylight, showcasing a blatant disregard for authority. One particularly shocking incident involved a brazen shootout at a local mall in 1979. This ruthless streak, coupled with a keen strategic mind, propelled Blanco to the top of the drug trafficking world, amassing immense wealth. Estimates suggest that at its height, Blanco established a massive narcotics ring that was reportedly trading 3,400 pounds of cocaine every month and over 3 tons of cocaine into the United States annually, generating a staggering profit of $80 million per month. Blanco reveled in her notoriety of violence to ensure her dominance, murdering people to avoid paying them the money she owed, or because they owed her money, or if she felt they had disrespected her, even embracing it in a chillingly symbolic manner. Blanco reveled in a life of extravagant luxury. Her wealth funded opulent mansions, extravagant parties, and a hedonistic lifestyle that served as a stark contrast to the violence she orchestrated. It was reported that she was responsible for most of South Florida's murders from 1979 to 1981. Griselda Blanco's personal life mirrored the violence and cruelty that characterized her criminal career. Her youngest son, Michael Corleone Blanco, was born during her marriage to her third husband, Dario Sepulveda. The name choice, inspired by the notorious crime boss in the film The Godfather, offered a glimpse into Blanco's self-perception and ambitions. However, her relationship with Sepulveda proved to be volatile and short-lived. In 1983, their marriage dissolved, and Sepulveda returned to Colombia. This separation sparked a bitter custody battle over Michael, ultimately culminating in a shocking act of violence. Sepulveda, defying Blanco's wishes, abducted their son in Colombia. Unwilling to relinquish control, Blanco responded with chilling determination. She reportedly orchestrated Sepulveda's assassination in Colombia, ensuring Michael's return to the United States. This incident, where Blanco prioritized power over familial bonds, stands as a stark testament to her ruthless nature. Griselda Blanco's grip on the drug trade finally loosened in February 1985. Following a period of intense investigation, the Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, agents apprehended Blanco at her residence. The charges against her were severe: conspiracy to manufacture, import, and distribute cocaine. These accusations reflected the vast scale of Blanco's criminal operation. The legal proceedings unfolded in a federal court situated in New York City. After a thorough examination of the evidence, the court found Blanco guilty of the charges presented. As a consequence of her action, she was sentenced to a significant period of incarceration, 15 years in prison. However, even behind bars, Blanco allegedly continued to exhibit manipulative behavior. According to reports, she devised a plan involving her associates. This scheme involved the abduction of John F. Kennedy Jr., son of the former president. The intention behind this audacious plot was reportedly to leverage Kennedy's status as a bargaining chip. Blanco allegedly hoped to secure her release from prison in exchange for his safety. This incident further underscored Blanco's ruthlessness and her unwavering desire for control, even while facing a lengthy prison sentence. Griselda Blanco's criminal activities didn't go unpunished. While already serving a sentence for drug trafficking, she faced additional charges for 3 separate murders. Authorities aimed to secure a strong case against Blanco by offering a plea bargain to Jorge Ayala, one of her most trusted hitmen. In exchange for leniency, Ayala agreed to testify that Blanco had directly ordered him to commit the killings. However, due to unforeseen legal technicalities, the prosecution's case against Blanco for these murders ultimately collapsed. This prevented her from facing the potential death penalty. Despite this setback, the legal pursuit of Blanco continued. In 1998, she opted to plead guilty to a lesser charge: 3 counts of second-degree murder. This change of plea resulted in a 20-year prison sentence. However, fate intervened once again for Blanco. A lifelong smoker, she suffered a major heart attack in 2002, raising concerns about her health. Considering the severity of her medical condition, Blanco was granted compassionate release from prison in 2004. This meant that her sentence was cut short due to her health problems, and she was deported back to her native Colombia, specifically Medellin. Upon her deportation to Colombia in 2004, Griselda Blanco appeared to have relinquished her life of crime. She settled back into her native country, seemingly leaving behind the violence and chaos that had defined her years in Miami. However, this newfound peace proved tragically short-lived. In 2012, at the age of 69, Blanco's life came to a sudden and brutal end. While leaving a butcher shop in Medellin, she was gunned down by a motorcycle assailant. The identity of this individual remains shrouded in mystery, leaving unanswered questions about the motive behind the attack. Unfortunately, Blanco's final resting place lies in the Jardines Montesacro Cemetery, the same graveyard that holds the remains of her one-time rival, Pablo Escobar. This shared burial ground serves as a chilling reminder of the enduring legacy of violence left behind by these notorious figures in the drug trade. At the peak of her drug trafficking empire, Griselda Blanco amassed an astonishing amount of wealth. Estimates suggest her monthly net income reached a staggering $80 million. This translated to a net worth that could have potentially reached a colossal $2 billion. Blanco's ill-gotten gains funded a life of extravagant luxury. She resided in a sprawling mansion in Miami, a symbol of her newfound power. Moreover, she traveled in opulent style, chartering private jets for her personal use. Blanco had 4 sons, Michael Corleone, Uber Trujillo, Osvaldo Trujillo, and Dixon Trujillo. Tragically, the legacy of violence that Blanco built claimed the lives of 3 of her sons. Uber, Osvaldo, and Dixon all fell victim to murder. Only Michael Corleone remains alive today, though he was not immune to the consequences of his mother's actions. In 2011, he was arrested on charges of cocaine trafficking. Griselda Blanco's story serves as a stark reminder of the destructive nature of the drug trade. It highlights the vast wealth that can be accumulated through such illicit activities, yet ultimately exposes the hollowness of a life built on violence and crime. Please feel free to share your opinion in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, or email at crimesabroad@outlook.com. Your engagement helps us continue to provide content like this.